everyone for joining us today, but also thank you for the work and dedication, and probably most importantly and most valuable, your time that you have dedicated to MRC over the past year. So this is one of our just volunteer appreciation events, even though Carl volunteered to come early to help set up for the volunteer appreciation event. So we appreciate that extra effort, Carl.
Volunteer.
Yeah. One of the things I'll talk a little bit about in a few minutes, things that we're hoping to do better or more of in 2026. And one of them is more volunteer get-together appreciations, both for our Northern Lagoon, but also our Southern Lagoon volunteers who don't get a whole lot of face time with staff, maybe other than restoration staff when they're down in the Duke property. We have a lot of different types of volunteers here at MRC, and I want to make sure that everybody knows the type of volunteer that you are is hugely impactful to MRC. We have volunteers who have a specific passion. We have volunteers who love the Sebastian property and working down there. And we have others that are really passionate about mangroves or plantings and things like that. We have volunteers who are involved in multiple or all of our programs. I'm looking at you, Casey. We have spouses, partners, children in fauna that have been voluntold to be here and to participate. We have volunteers who are also donors, and that's a very important role. We have volunteers who also provide their expertise. Our board is one example of this. So we're a nonprofit. We have a board of directors, and it is a volunteer board. And so they're volunteering their time and their knowledge to help guide and oversee the organization. We also have people who help us with our operations and provide that level of expertise with insurance, with money management, and then don't charge us a fee. So it's kind of an in-kind donation and a volunteering of expertise. And MRC can really only do what we do thanks to you, our volunteers. So it's really completely cliche to say that volunteers are the heart of an organization, but it's got to be cliche. I mean, because it's true. You're not here because this helps you put food on your table or a roof over your head. You're here because of your heart and your passion for the work, the people, the projects, and the lagoon. Two of our goals for 2025 as an organization were to expand our mangrove nursery and to improve our Lagoon Watch citizen science program. Both of these initiatives will carry over into 2026, but these were actually our two programs where we see our most volunteerism and hours logged. So we had over 350 volunteer hours logged at our mangrove workshops this year as we took inventory and over expansion projects and making room for new stock. We're also recovering from losing a bunch of stock in 2024 to mangrove pathogen, and also selling almost 500 and planting almost 500 mangroves this year. So opening room for that. Our let's see here. So far in 2025, Lagoon Watch has logged over 900 volunteer hours. And this includes your weekly reporting, your weekly water quality sampling, all the wet chemistry you get to do. And then it also includes our pilot program that's been working with Jess to test out our protocols and equipment as we start transitioning over to digital probes. To make sure everything is ready as we roll all of that out in 2026. So altogether, we had 1,920 hours so far. We still have December workshops and Lagoon Watch to account for, which is more than last year. So we're very proud of that. And now I know you don't get paid, but your time actually is worth a monetary value. So right now in Florida for 2025, a volunteer hour is worth $33. And this is really important because we get to use it on matches for grants to help us have stronger grant applications when we go for state and federal funding or private funding. And so with the 1,920 hours, that is a combined value of $63,360 worth of your time and your energy and your effort, and that's amazing. So thank you. So we do want everyone to know, we appreciate that everything we do, but we also like to give a few awards to some of our standout volunteers every year. Some of these are nominated by the board, some of these are nominated by staff, and some of them are just kind of obvious to all of us. So we're gonna give out 3 awards. Only one of you are here. That's okay. Okay. So the first award that we'd like to give out, we're calling the Partnership and Service Award. And this is going to go to Jason Heller with Coastal Wealth. And so he is one of our volunteer/donors who has volunteered his expertise as we expanded our employee benefits this year, as we changed how we handled our reserve funds. He oversees our investments. He's been a wonderful resource to me and other board members as a go-to for advice, for questions. And he does not charge us for his time and expertise. And we are so appreciative of that. He does live and work in Fort Lauderdale, so he's not here, but we'll make sure that he knows and we can send him his certificate. So thank you very much for your time. So the second one is a new one that we're starting this year, and we're calling it the Directors Award. And it was this inaugural one was nominated by a member of our board, and then it recognizes a member of our board for service to the organization. Again, our board is volunteer, many of whom volunteer additional at workshops, at tablings, at litter patrols, and things like that. Many serve on multiple organizations within the community. Some bring financial resources in, and then others provide and or deep wisdom about the lagoon, the organization, and what we're facing ahead of us. So this year's award goes to Maureen Root, who was nominated and accepted by another member of our board. So Maureen has been on the board for coming up on 20 years. She has a wealth of knowledge and passion for the lagoon. She also works with Parish Healthcare as a director. She is in Space Coast Audubon Society, the Indian River Lagoon Roundtable, works with League of Women Voters, and I'm sure multiple other organizations that I either don't know about or have forgotten about. Through these connections, she has also forged many collaborations, as well as brokered financial contributions that have been very impactful for us. And then in addition to this, she participates in all of our events, for whether it's a fundraiser, she comes to LID. Every year she came to LID, she went to the hospital, she came back to LID this year. And then she always brings friends and colleagues with her to either help celebrate MRC or to learn with us. So we're very glad that she is part of our MRC team, and we'll be able to present this to her at our next board meeting. So the last award we present today is also a new one, an inaugural one, that we plan to become an annual acknowledgement. So it is the Stephen E. Chalmers Volunteer of the Year Award. So Steve was a longtime volunteer. He was in the first group of Lagoon Watch monitors, him and his wife, back in 1991. He served on our board for 26 years. He held every titled position on the board at some point. He was a huge lagoon advocate for MRC and other organizations. He passed away earlier this year, and his brothers came to us wanting to acknowledge Steve's work with MRC, the lagoon, and especially his passion for volunteerism. And so they approached us about creating this award in memory of Steve and a way to acknowledge those that are similarly dedicated to MRC and volunteers. So this year's inaugural Stephen E. Chalmers Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Casey Beckett. Yay! So Casey volunteers at every single one of our programs. She shows up for litter patrols and mangrove workshops, both here and at Sebastian. She works at tabling events and other outreach events. She and her husband, Glenn, are Lagoon Watch monitors, but they're not just Lagoon Watch monitors. They are also poop water collectors. So they collect water samples. They drive them up to the lagoon house from Grant Valcaria. drop them off for processing, drive back down and do that multiple times a month. And then on top of that, Casey also volunteers at Environmental Learning Center and Orca and Sea Turtle Conservancy at the Barrier Island Center, and I'm sure others. But Casey, your service is invaluable, and thank you.
Yay, Casey, move on.
So for 2026, we hope to have some new things coming as we revamp and plan to engage and expand our volunteer program. We're hoping to host more events, including across the lagoon, engage the Southern Lagoon, and recognize people who are very invested in our work in Jupiter Island, in the Stewart area. We've done a lot of plantings there, and on up through Indian River County as well. So we hope to have special events around invasive species removal, both here at this property, as well as our Sebastian property. And then as we roll out Lagoon Watch 2.0 and funding permitting, we will start the recruitment for new water quality monitors and citizen scientists so that we can get more regular data points across the lagoon. So we hope to see you in 2026. If you ever have any ideas of projects, programs, or ways to engage and recruit and retain volunteers, please let us know because we love and appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.